Hey, I'm Aaron, Slanesh devotee on the forums, and this is the third time I've attempted to record one of my Octagon Warhammer Conquest games. Octagon played up a bit and we had to reset and get started, but here's me playing Asclepios. Always been a bit of a fan of Asclepios on the forums. He's got good ideas and he's really keen on the fluff, so it's always a pleasure to be able to play him when the timing works. We are on opposite sides of the planet. So I was pretty keen on this starting hand. Obviously I'm recording this narration, this commentary, after recording the video. There was some problems there, but I just wanted to see if I could actually get a video out. I was quite happy with all of the economy that was in this hand, so I was quite keen to keep it. Of course, possibly it wasn't the best hand to keep because it didn't give me much to defend against the widespread that Worr would be able to put out. So let's see how it goes. I've been quite keen using Vha'Shaelhur. It's been good fun. His area effect is really useful. Certainly is the sort of thing that I really want to use against someone like Worr, because he tends to have a lot of smaller units, and so really that's what I want to be using. Troop transport to start makes me a bit worried, but at least I can answer it with a promised glory. It's a good response. Tokens for tokens. There's not a lot of green on the start, so I wasn't too concerned about that, but to be fair, there's enough that makes it a little bit concerning. I tried recording a game a couple of days ago against Fighting Walloon. I believe his name's actually John, and that was a really fun game. He absolutely slaughtered me with Shadow Sun, and I was realising afterwards that if I'd had a Prince's Might, I would have been able to stop almost all of his giant Voltron units from hurting me, because they were all 2 costs, I think. So something to be aware of. But unfortunately that didn't work at all properly, and since then I've tried a couple of other recordings and they haven't really worked. This one finally worked. I'm hoping next time I'll actually be able to do commentary as I'm playing, which is a little bit more interesting, you know, but still. Yeah, so another promise of glory, plenty of cultists. I haven't been playing warp smiths in this deck anymore. I used to try using them. They weren't as good as I like. I feel like they're a solid enough fighter, but with all the elites they die a bit quicker, but they really do ramp up the use of those cultists, so it's an interesting choice. But yeah, a lot of cultists to start with, really good. Anxious infantry platoon, just solid unit, isn't it? Hard to go past that thing. I had a little disconnect. I think it was because someone joined the game and my connection wasn't that good, but the problem with that is also that, you know, sometimes Octagon plays around after you've disconnected, so hopefully, well, actually, things worked out after that, so that's okay. Steel Legion Chimera, holding down the first planet, and so my thoughts are, as you'll see, that I feel like I can take the first planet. Now, I don't know if I actually should have, because look at the layout, there's only one other blue here, so really I possibly just should have let it slide. I maybe should have set myself up with this thing that I'm going to try for a different planet. And he didn't put that on a green planet, which I found really interesting, because that means it's only got 0 attack, and that means it's easier for me to get. I find Vha'Shaelhur 1 attack going out early game just can't fight things off. Just pinging something for 1 and often getting shielded, I get driven off as Vha'Shaelhur in the first turn more than I've hit with any other warlord. And it's frustrating. So yeah, I was really tempted to go to Ferrin with Vha'Shaelhur. Actually, I might have. I can't remember where I went right now. But yeah, so putting the Splintered Path Acolyte on Planet 1, I feel like maybe I shouldn't have done that. Maybe I should have put him on 2, and then put the Keeper further down the line on Taras or Yavahn, or tried to fight the Psyker on Ferrin. That might have been a good idea, and then I could have still set this trick up the next turn, save the Mark Slaanesh for the next turn, and be more set up. Yeah, that probably would have been a better idea. I didn't need this blue planner, but you can see what I've set up here to be able to swoop in and take it. Yeah, I think I should have set myself up to compete on the command there. Probably still should have put the mark out, so then if he had decided to go to Ossus to fight off, to claim the resource bonus, I would have been able to swoop in with the Keep Your Secrets, and that would have worked still the same. But I possibly should have gone to Ferrin to compete then. Potentially. Maybe not. I definitely think I should have left the first planet. So this is a bit of an experiment. Let me know if, you don't have to listen to me rabbiting on, obviously. Let me know if you enjoy it. Let me know if it's something I should try and record again in future. But yeah, so I go to Taras because I've got this plan to trigger it later. I don't notice, I miss a few times in this game that I haven't exhausted things going with Vha'Shaelhur, so I need to make sure I do that better. I'm not very good at it. I always forget little things. Another thing is I should have really been digging for cards in this game. I don't tend to get a lot of card draw out of my elites, and because I'm usually focusing on getting those resources so I can pay for them. And yeah, you're missing their tricks. So here comes the Keeper. I thought this was quite a nice little trick, but I should have kind of predicted that he would have gone to Ossus because the Keeper was there. So yeah, if I'd had the Splintered Path Acolyte there and the Keeper on Planet 3, could have potentially been quite good. And then I was quite proud of this little manoeuvre as well. Stand the Keeper. And now, Taras will be mine. I suppose I did get this opportunity. Get a card. That's something at least, I guess, Now here, I decided against the Teleportarium because there's so little blue. And Demonic Incursion I almost never use. I am seldom interested in it. I've usually got enough demons and monsters floating in, so I wasn't bothered on that. But I chose Economy when I didn't necessarily have anything to spend it on, so maybe that wasn't the right choice. Maybe I should have gotten the Incursion there. Yeah, I really feel like from that first planet I should have just let that go. Oh well. Asclepius. Keen on the, I don't know what that eye symbol is. I don't know where that came from. That was really weird to me. If someone can tell me what that is, I'd really appreciate it. But Asclepius does, throws caution to the wind, walks on the wild side a couple of times in this game. Probably a good idea against me. I'm not a good enough player to be able to cope. Generally. I've managed to bottom out the Alignment Wheel League. I'm right near the bottom of the table in the Black Crusades. I think I hamstring myself quite a bit, but it's fun. I like it. See, he's thinking out loud, he's not sure, and he goes for it. He pulls that trigger. Here they come. Two tokens. Yeah. And possibly I should have just not. I should have shielded with a gut and pillage, or I should have decided to, you know, just not take the. I should run away potentially because he can't trigger it anyway. But it's just take a lot of hits. Take a lot of hits here. It's not good. He decides to get out of the dodge until, is it Prezi? Is Prezi watching us? Someone's watching us. Yeah, Prezi points out, quite rightly, it's a green planet. Worr is alive. He would not be impressed if those guardsmen are going to try and run away, even if it is a giant Catman demon monster thing. And he uses a preempted barrage to shield them. That's pretty intense, but look at how much damage he is putting on me. And also points out, quite rightly again, I don't get to trigger my reaction out of it because it's token unit, not army unit. Again, using Vha'Shaelhur, I've been using him a lot, I really like him, but that trigger, that reaction, does not come up very often. It really doesn't. I have very seldom been able to put in a cultist because of Vha'Shaelhur. It does draw out things like, you know, shields that they would otherwise probably not want to shield with, which is, you know, is a benefit. You can use that, knowing that they're going to try and shield it, knowing that they're going to retreat sooner than they might otherwise. But, it's not great. And look, I remember to play Gut and Pillage. I so often forget to play Gut and Pillage. The game I was playing the other day that I recorded that didn't work, the one against Fighting Balloon, I missed my Gut and Pillage for 3 turns, I think it is, and each turn was a red planet. I'm positive, because I kept going, I've got to go to a red planet, I need those resources. And I never played the Gut and Pillage. I'm an idiot sometimes. So I chose cards. I would have got the Mark and the Heldrake next turn. So, yeah. Maybe I should have retreated sooner and not taken so much damage. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, maybe. I would have been able to put the Heldrake in at least. That's for sure. So I've got Rundown in this deck, but I don't know if I'm going to keep it there. I mean, I know a lot of people will be like, why did you put it in the first place? But my thought was, if I could, on these first couple of turns, go down the line, throw them in, throw in the Rundown, and bring something with that was fighting on the first planet back, just so that Vha'Shaelhur can kill it and get a cultist out of it, could be handy. I think it's more handy later in the game, and then it begins to get a bit complex, and I'm more likely to want Vha'Shaelhur in the front line rather than further back, and I don't know. less useful, really. I'm also really keen on figuring out if there's any way I can do support destruction. Basically, my only choice is Squig Bombing, I'm pretty sure. And I'm like, is there any orc stuff that I really want to use? There's not really, but maybe I can rearrange it and use some orc stuff. Just because the amount of supports that are turning up, and they're all so influential, I feel like, at this point. If you do have a support, it's going to make a difference, you know? So, yeah. Yeah, oh, that doesn't help either. I know I have backlash in this deck, but as you can tell, it's not there now, and it leaves me very vulnerable when I've only got 2 units, and they're both big elites. Well, I'm about to have another unit, and I've got the cultists, but, you know, they don't really count. I think I'm thinking through the maths of Planet 1 at this point, and I really don't want him to get Planet 1, but I don't think I quite do enough to really stop it. I think I make it difficult for him. Yeah. So these guys, these girls, are really handy at pulling things out of the way. They're a bit pricey for it, but it's good. I like it. So my thought here was, if those anxious infantry are on a non-green planet and there's battle there, they have to run away at the end of the combat, unless he's going to pay the money for them. You know, ideally they would be at the same planet as Worr, and he'd kill them because he can't afford it, but, you know, I still think it's a useful thing to do to him, you know. Tokens versus tokens. I mean, I suppose I could have tried to fight him off with them all, but that'd be an odd thing. Okay, now at this point, I think I should have realised that I needed to go to Planet 1 to back up the Helldrake, because something was going to get Inquisitorial Fortress. I still could have used the Demonette to pull off the Anxious Infantry platoon, keep the Vha'Shaelhur okay. Yeah, and that would have meant that I had a blue and a green, and the best he could get is a red. And then I'd need to make sure I fought for Yavin, sorry, with its blue and its green, and then I would have had 2. I could have even let him get the next planet then, but I would be able to win. Well, hopefully, done better. But this Assault Valkyrie scared me. This scared me. I probably still should have gone to 1. He probably would have preempted Barrage. I feel like he had quite a few. Oh, does that say you have 0 cards? Maybe he wouldn't. Maybe he wouldn't have been able to. I should have been watching his cards and resources a bit closer. So my thought was, whatever wins on planet 1 will be back in HQ. Either the Helldrake will have won or been routed or died, and I would have hit fall back. Then, in the battle at planet 2, which is where I've decided to go, as soon as he kills the Demonette, I will bring back that Helldrake, and it will all be very dangerous and bloody and nasty. So away I go. He goes off down the end there. I'm not too worried about that, because I was figuring I'd probably end up having to sacrifice a cultist for an effect of some sort. And again, see, I forgot to exhaust them. Not good at that part. I feel like I should have backed up the Helldrake at 1, really. Still could have pulled aside. I could have pulled aside the Assault Valkyrie if I wanted. Whichever one I thought was going to be more useful to pull aside. Killed whatever was left. I would have hit it with a Helldrake, or I would have readied the Keeper of Secrets and hit it with that. Yeah. I think it probably would have been a better idea. I was hoping, because I completely forgot about the Inquisitorial Fortress, but I was hoping to wait for the the Anxious Infantry to have exhausted to attack the Helldrake first, and then I was going to pull them over so they would be exhausted. And then at that point I went, oh, I've got to get them over now. But really, yeah, I should have gone to 1 at that point, I think. Helldrake could have gone for the Assault Valkyrie. Or the Keeper could have gone for, yeah, probably pull the Assault Valkyrie out of the way to make sure. Probably would have been a better call. See, this is the bad side about watching yourself play. Seeing all the things you did wrong and just going, oh no, why did I do that? Excuse me. And then here, see, I've actually set myself up for a nasty little hit. And really, oh yeah, Octagon did something weird with the money there, but I think I'm right. Really, my first action, as I'm sure almost all of you would have done, it would have been to retreat Vha'Shaelhur. But no, I get greedy. I'm going to ready my guy, which is fine, and then instead of running away, which really would have been a better idea, he takes an action to get big and tough. Of course, that's fine, and I think, alright, that's fine, I'll hurt him, then he'll have to run away in the next round. That was my thought process, and then he'll die as soon as he runs away. That was what I was thinking. That was what my thought was. And that was probably the wrong choice. Run away with Vha'Shaelhur, take a big hit, either on something that can survive it, or on a demon that will bring in a Helldrake. So it's probably going to be the Keeper, isn't it? But no, I swing with the Keeper. And it stays alive because of the Clear Cut Refuge. Of course it does. Of course it's going to do that. And then there's this. Now, I completely forget that he can't use it. He completely forgets as well. So he's killing off the Psyker. Cool. But then Prezi points out you can't. And I'm not sure what happens here. The Griffin Escort. Is that Summary Execution replaces itself, does it? Draw a card. Right. Okay, so he drew that card and then he put it back out and went, oh crap, he can't have it. Okay, that makes sense. At the time I was like, what the heck is going on? But let's write it out. Most people know how to play this game better than I do. And of course, as we all expect, he bloodies me. I don't have anything remotely possible to shield that. And I just didn't even really comprehend that that was something that would happen. To be honest, I just, oh yeah, I'm going to have a bloody warlord now. Whoops. Too cocky. I was just, yeah, too headstrong. No good at all. The rest of the battle pretty much unfolds as expected. Bit of a jolt there when somebody else joins in. My connection. And of course, can't trigger it. Probably not the best battle to have gone to because of that. And I lose. Rundown, which, you know, oh well. I've never managed to get it to work how I'm hoping, so I probably need to just get rid of it and maybe get an Archon's Terror or two into the deck, which I don't have at the moment, which is shocking. So this deck was originally very similar to the UK National Kugarth deck that Worr popularised, and but I obviously Khorne cards, I can't process that. That's no good. I'm not going to do it. So I had to take out my Vicious Bloodletters and I had to take out my Bloodthirster. Even though I did, to be honest, try just a straight up swap for a couple of times, and that was quite fun. It really was. But I don't want to have the Khorne cards if I can avoid them. Maybe I'll put them back in and just try and be nastier for a little while sometimes. But yeah, looking at all my options here. What am I going to do? I've got Ethereal, so I'm looking for what powers do I have. I have none. I don't think I hold enough powers. And something I realised later on, I start looking at it, you'll probably see me thinking it through in the game, but I'm thinking I could swap out these green win conditions and get them away from him. Bring Karnath further down, blue and red, and that's going to be of no use to him with his green planets. But I don't start doing it soon enough. I probably should have started doing it this turn, trying to get Karnath down as soon as possible. Also, doing this means that Worr going to that planet is not only saving a command on me, but if he kills Ethereal, he wins Taras. Or he will do in a moment because he's got some extra triggers. No, he will now, because I've got more than him at the moment, and just I have to think about that. Where do I put things that might lure the Warlord? Potentially, I shouldn't have even put him out, really. Possibly shouldn't have even put him out. Because that is all I can do, and maybe I should have just saved him. Deep struck him somewhere where he's going to be useful as a last ditch combat. I'm not sure why I went to 3. I didn't go to 3, I went to 2. Okay, that makes more sense. Oh yeah, and the reason I went there, so partially, set up my Heldrake for the next turn, but also I had in my mind, if I can draw something, then I might be able to put it into play with Yvonne. if I can get myself a demon. Of course, I've gotten rid of my demonic incursion, so it's not there, and I haven't committed to anywhere that gives me cards. So it's a small flaw in your plan there, Aaron. Gosh, there must have been quite a few spectators at some point. Grief. Oh yeah, a wind Farron. Oh yeah, I'll route that. That'll be easy. Oh, it's a green planet. I can't route them. Oh! I don't feel like Worr is the easy win button that people seem to have felt he was originally. He's you know, still definitely got his tricks, but I feel like he's not as potent against such a big fighty force anymore. Necessarily well piloted, you know. Yeah, no trigger. Oh, shocking. Yeah, I was going to ready him, but I remembered that actually he shouldn't, because I won before that point. And then here, oh, just not good. Yeah, maybe I should have depth struck him to that and just left him from not let him jump up yet. That might have been a wiser decision. And if I'd had one of my backlashes would have been really nice at that point. Then I could have hit Worr, I could have done something and retreated. I don't know. But, oh, no, I can't retreat because Worr would have killed me, wouldn't he? But still, I could have done something. I was impressed that he gets to trigger the lower army unit when he's playing Worr versus Chaos Elites. Yeah. Oh, if I'd have had my backlash, no one could have retreated. He would have had to kill me, and then we would have been equal. That wouldn't have worked. Oh, I wish I'd had my backlash. Yeah, the disparity is really building up there. He's got a lot more cards. Barless just hurts. It really does, it hurts. Alright. Got another mark. No good. No units. Got Predatory Instinct, which not so great when I'm already bloodied. So AoE 1, nice, but then vulnerable to end of the game because the Warlord will die. A lot nicer earlier in the game. I'm just trying anything to be able to pull units around, basically. If he fights me there, at least I'll be able to pull something over to fight back, you know? Don't know that it'll be very impressive anymore. He's getting his swarm out, getting the command that he should be getting with Worr, so that's understandable completely. Yeah, so I've got nothing else to do again. Maybe I should have kept that demonic incursion to guarantee I had more units. I thought I was going to get more, and I didn't. It just never turned up. And yeah, obviously, well, maybe not obviously, probably obviously, that is where I was planning to go this turn, and suddenly Oh, it's not as pretty a place to get to anymore. Just, that's not so good. Considered going to Barlas. Did I go to Barlas? I don't think I went. Maybe I did go to Barlas. Oh, maybe I did. But I was just, at that point I'm getting outsiders win conditions and things are gonna be tricky. And then I've got a Mark of Slanesh outsiders win condition, which you don't want. Why would you want that, you know? If I'm gonna be outsiders win condition, maybe I should just go to Carnath anyway. I was looking for cards at this point. I was realizing, crap, I've got nothing I can do. There's not enough cards here. So I really wanted to draw something good. And those aren't that great. Gut and Pillage while I'm fighting at a green planet. Although I thought, oh yeah, I've got a Helldrake on one. Could be alright. And then the sneaky bugger. Boom, boom, and yeah, you gotta laugh, don't you? You gotta be like, well, there you go. And see, if I'd have had that backlash, see, right now, if I had the backlash, he knows he can run away, it would be safe for him, that would be fine, but and then I'd win it, and I could use Gut and Pillage, and that would have been lovely. Except I already had 9 resources, I mean, for goodness sake. And he's out. And I just, what can I do? You know? This is that peril of putting too many eggs in one basket, isn't it? Of using an elite, this big badass elite, and then they just fortress him. Done. He's out of there. Yeah, and quite rightly, seeing as I've got heaps of resources and not spent them, triggers Yvonne, and I can only drop Zarves into play. You know, I've just got to admit when somebody's got me beat there, just clearly read the situation much better than me. Oh yes. And again, here he goes with his I don't know what to call them. It's not really janky. It's quite what it's meant to do. But it's just he's doing his silly little blam, and he throws in the preemptive barrage. That's solid, very solid. Yeah. And just, yep, quite correctly, just throws them in there, nice and clear. Fighting Walloon, yeah, good lad, reminding me. Do I have any counter spells? No. Now I will. So that takes some of the damage. I decide I'm not going to be able to trigger that. It's not going to be relevant, so it's a shield as well. Yeah. I was considering using the Predatory Instinct. That was very close to me there, so I would have taken 1 damage out of the whole thing. But I decided not to in the end. I don't know, I just decided not to. See, and by now I feel like I could have War Rift at the end of this, and then Carnath would have been where all of those guys were fighting. No green, red and blue. Which obviously still would have been good for him, but the win condition wouldn't have been there. Might have given me a little bit of a chance. Ping. Little pathetic little ping. Up they go. He gets out of there, because we can't risk that. Realise that my Demonette's going to die first thing, so I really don't have any more shields for them. And the sneaky bugger gives me an invincible little guardsman. That's what I mean. I really am so very, very tempted to go orcs and get those squeak bowmen, because the supports are so frustrating. I was considering at least I could then possibly throw in some ard boys, frontline ard boys, and put and then Vha'Shaelhur can area of effect a bit more indiscriminately. And thank you so much for reminding me that I get my Warp Rift back. As I'm noting, I've never actually used them before, so yeah, good idea. Zarathor, yeah, it makes sense. I'm not sure I really need him in this deck. I know it's kind of a leftover from the Cougar deck. I'm not sure. I might actually even swap him out just for the one of the Noise Marine Warband, because I get a couple of powers back out of him, but it's really just a bit of extra shields. Whereas having some area effect, that just having another one, just a little bit more, because as you can see, once he's bloodied, I don't have the area effect anymore. I should probably have a Warp Storm or two just to help back it up as well. Yeah. Just to help deal with some of these crowds that do still remain. Keep him alive, why not? Who cares, you know? Probably should have swung with him there. Get his actual use out of that. Silly me. Yeah. Oh, the mistakes you spot. I mean, yeah, if I'd have swung with him, at least I would have gotten his damage out first. And with that, he effectively neuters a card from my deck. Completely pointless card, really. The Mark of Slanesh there, which is, well, could have put any other card in the deck and it would have had more effect than that card did. I suppose it might have been. I am a fan of cards that don't have an effect, but would change how people see the board. You know, his decisions might have been changed because there was a mark on that DMNet, you know, and I am happy that that sort of thing happens, but I take people's point that you don't really see that happening, and so it's hard to like internalize that actually that may have had an effect on how the game went. So he's on his win condition, and I have drawn a Helldrake and a Keeper, which in my head I went, oh, those add up to 13. Great. I can play them both and we'll be good. It'll be all okay. And then I played the Helldrake going, yep, that's fine. Grab a cultist because my tower, lovely. And then I realised that's not what 8 plus 7 equals, is it? That equals 15, so I don't have enough anymore. And then I went, oh, bugger. Might have been a better idea to do the Keeper, just because potentially might have been able to get a refresh out of an extra cultist here or there. But not very impressive. Now, I have this janky idea you're going to see me play it through. To be honest, it does better than I thought it would. I'm not saying it did well, I'm saying it did better than I thought it would. So, see if you can pick exactly what I'm doing before it happens. There's clues very, very quickly, so just see what you think I'm doing. Theoretically, if I can kill something, because I always will put a cultist back in, that would be good. If I can kill something. I'd give it away to him, but I'm sure he would have got there very quickly on his own. I mean, I can't commit anywhere else really, can I? He'll win on one. All my armies in my HQ. Where was I going to go? Steel, and then I was laughing because the Steel Legion Chimera, I think it was going to drop one off each AoE, but I don't think it does. I think it's only from attacks, but I'm not sure anymore right now, to be honest. And it's non-vehicle, isn't it? Most of those are vehicles, so yeah. He knows where to go because it's quite telegraphed, my little idea here. Oh, I just realised there's an Assault Valkyrie in his HQ. I wonder, I'm sorry, I didn't see what he said there, and I can't read it. I realised that it's remembered in it's initiative. Oh, of course, right. And then he's got his Assault Valkyrie. All good. Yeah. So yeah, I drew a teleportarium. Damn it! Come on, that's not what I needed. Okay, I was fully expecting another preemptive barrage. I figured that this is where the game was going to be done. I figured this was it. At this point there's no point in using the fallback for its purpose, so I just shielded with that, because I mean, without the proper mark setup, it wasn't going to come back. If I had some cultists out on the other planets with marks, and they were on blue planets, and I could teleportarium, I could fall back and then teleportarium and then through. Oh, sorry about the Facebook comment, just ignore that. You know, that ridiculous combination would have been good, but it doesn't happen. It's not real, and it's certainly not happening here. I'm wondering when he was going to use that clear cut. Take out the Chimera anyway. which does let me get a cultist, so that's something. And now he just gets to slaughter stuff. I would like to keep that, actually. Would have given me another readying for my keeper. Would have been good. There he goes. So you're about to see my silly little combination, and the game is just about done. Now, obviously, I could have conceded by now. I like to play it through as much as possible, especially when I have a silly little thing like this. You know, you get that moral victory from managing to bloody their warlord even though they win. You get that little moral victory by going, I did my silly combination. It didn't really help, but I got to do it. And that's what I'm doing right now. The game was over quite a while ago, really. But just giving this a go. Hopefully my whittering on hasn't been too boring for you. I'm sure my voice hasn't been that entertaining to listen to. Hopefully I'll be able to be a bit more animated next time I'm playing a game, and I'll actually talk as I play. That'll be more interesting. You'll hear me going, oh, I'll do this, and you'll be going, oh, for goodness sake, Aaron, don't do that, you silly little... whereas at the moment I can see all the mistakes I'm making going, oh, that's dumb. And it's a different sort of mindset, isn't it? Okay. Finally. Is it done? Is it? No, not yet. Ping. 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 And ha-ha! I jump over. Ha-ha-ha-ha-ha! And I get to do AoE. Blah. I take a hit. And then, haha! I get to be ready again. Yay! And then, blat! I do you again. Now, obviously, he's letting things go a little bit because it's the last battle, I'm sure. I don't have any other cultists to ready again, but that was more effective than I really had expected, to be honest. I really didn't think it would kill quite so many things. And then this whole Valkyrie strafes my demon, puts him down, and that is the end of the game. I'll see him win in a second. Claim it. He claims it in a second, I'm sure. There it is. So, Worr managed to take out Vha'Shaelhur. I think a better pilot could have won with Vha'Shaelhur. I think a better deck might have helped a bit. As I said, this was based on the Varoon UK Nationals deck, and I'm just going to let this play for a second because blah 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 blah. Obviously, I'm down to 27 cards, no ominous wind, and that's the big deal out of that deck, really, isn't it? So I was curious, where was my ominous wind? And just lots and lots of small talk, small talk. Next card was ominous wind. So frustrating. Alright, I'll leave it there. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully I'll be able to do this again and you can watch another time. Bye.